What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Olympics, and I'm going to be giving you guys the 10 or some of the 10 best players that you guys have maybe never heard about heading into the Olympics. Now, these 10 guys are guys you might have heard of, but guys that maybe you're just vaguely know, or guys that are just maybe young guys that are super talented. So the first guy I want to mention is Nando De Colo from France. Now, France has a lot of hype heading into the Olympics, headed by Victor Wembanyama, obviously Rudy Gobert. You got NBA guys that you know, like Evan Fournier, like a guy like Nicolas Batum. But De Colo is 37 years old, a vet, and I'm not necessarily sure how much he'll play, how many minutes he'll get. In the qualifiers, averaged 22 minutes, and in those minutes last year, averaged 11 points and 5 assists. So again, a guy that probably will see some good run, a steady force out there for, Wemby, who is super young, and they've got some vets in Batum, in Fournier, in Gobert. Fits right in with all of them, but definitely a steadying force that will be instrumental if France does make a run at goal. Next up here, guys, we have Thomas Walkup, played at Stephen F. Austin, and obviously, guys, Greece, they've got Giannis, so he's going to be the mainstay for them. But Thomas Walkup, don't sleep on him. Kind of a Swiss Army knife. Very good player. Not maybe overly athletic, but definitely a solid player. Averaged 16, 7, and 3 in FIBA last year. And on any given night, could be a triple-double type of candidate. Don't be surprised if he has a game where he's maybe even the leading scorer for Greece. Another guy from Greece here, this guy, Nick Kalathis, he's 35 years old. So definitely a veteran presence out there on the court. Averaged 10 and 10 in the Olympic qualifiers. And just another guy, again, Giannis, yes, obviously is the mainstay. Obviously is the main name for Greece. But these guys in Walkup, these guys in Walkup and in Kalathis, they could definitely help Giannis out. It's not just Giannis. The next guy I want to talk about for you guys is KC Tominaga. I'm an Iowa fan. You guys can see Iowa right here, always repping. But this guy in the Big Ten was probably the most fun guy to watch on the hardwood last year in the Big Ten. And I know Zach Edey was there. I know, obviously, Terrence Shannon Jr. was in the conference. This guy is an absolute flamethrower. Only played 18 minutes in qualifiers, but averaged nearly 12 points at Nebraska last season. Averaged 15 points and made over 2 threes a game. Don't let him get hot, because if he does, watch out. Could provide a massive game for Japan if he does find a rhythm. Next up here, guys, we've got Lorenzo Brown. Now, look, I know Spain has some NBA talent, whether it's Hernan Gomez, some other guys that you may be familiar with. But when it comes to guards and guard depth, I think Lorenzo Brown is the best guard that Spain does have. Averaged 12 and 8 in qualifiers and is kind of old. So he's a veteran presence out there that is going to have control of the game. Lorenzo Brown, one of the better guards that we'll see in the Olympics. Next guy, Kaman Maluik from South Sudan, committed to play at Duke, a top 5 recruit in the country. Now, the problem for him is South Sudan has some other good bigs. Bobo, Thon Maker, Wenyen Gabriel. They've got a lot of front court talent, so where does he fill in that shuffle? I don't really know if he really fits in, how many minutes he'll see, but definitely a guy to keep an eye on, not only in the Olympics, but moving forward to just watch how his career unfolds. Bruno Caboclo from Brazil played 7 seasons in the NBA. Now, honestly, didn't see a whole ton of playing time, but I think he's going to be Brazil's best scorer. Averaged 18 points per game in qualifiers. Can shoot the 3-ball a little bit as well. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on for the Brazilian team. Josh Hawkinson probably is Japan's best player. It was in FIBA. Obviously, Rui Hachimura probably will be their best player. But he is super good, super talented. Went to Washington State. Had a really solid career there. Averaged 21 and 11 in FIBA last year as well. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on. Obviously, Japan, they've got some really talented guys. And he's probably one of their top 2 players. Tremont Waters for Puerto Rico. Now look, he had a short stint in the NBA, I think with the Boston Celtics primarily. But look, he was the G League MVP, most valuable player. can fill it up, score from anywhere, average 20 and 9 in qualifiers. Now look, he's next to Jose Alvarado in that backcourt. Alvarado's a solid offensive player, but Tremont Waters offensively is the best player for Puerto Rico. If they want to have a chance against some of those other top teams, he's going to have some really big scoring outbursts. The last guy I want to go over and talk about, cover today, is Carlik Jones. Now, look, he's playing for South Sudan. They've got a lot of solid talent, but when it comes to scoring, that's where they lack a little bit. Again, they've got some talent, they've got some athletes, especially in that front court, got a lot of guys that can make some plays. He's an offensive machine. If South Sudan wants a chance against some of these other countries with a lot of scoring talent, Carlik Jones is going to have some big time scoring games. Average 20 and 11 in qualifier, an absolute bucket getter for his South Sudan team who needs it. Let's get wrapping up for our video today, guys, talking about 10 guys in the Olympics that you guys need to know about. Now, again, a lot of these range from guys we don't know how many minutes they'll get to guys that is going to probably be their country's leading scorers. So super interested to dive into our Olympics and see who ends up taking home the gold medal. But I'm more intrigued to watch every specific country, especially a guy like Tominaga. For me, a guy that was so fun to watch in college, how he performs on the Olympic stage. Let me know who you guys are most excited to watch. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.